How strong is V1? We've probably all thought about it. So I'm here to answer the question. How strong is our little robot friend? And I know that I could go for the reasonable explanations, but I think it's a lot more fun to push V1 to his absolute limits. So I want to see how strong V1 is if we take his strongest feats and then just highball that. So this is not like a debate tool, but if you think it's fun, like to my little arguments, subscribe, I guess? I don't fucking know. Alright, this is a little tricky because V1 is a video game character. I found a blog post, which I'll link in the description, about how heavy the corpse of King Minos is. And considering V1 is able to send at least the top half of corpse King Minos a good portion back, I can say that he should be able to move about half of the weight of the corpse King Minos. Which, if you highball him, according to the blog post, is 78 billion pounds. And this is him parrying a punch of this creature, so it probably takes more than half its weight, but this blog post had way too many numbers for me to figure out. So we're just going to say that he can punch for 78 billion pounds and move on. But I'd like to point out that I'm lowballing this guy right now, because I have a way to scale V1 so that he's infinitely powerful. According to Einstein, black holes have infinite density, so, by extension, that means they also have infinite gravity. Meaning, since the quantity of damage that a black hole can do at max is 99, since parrying a punch does about 11% of the black hole, or 11 damage, that means V1 is infinitely strong because you cannot divide infinite. Is this logic flawed? Yeah, probably. But it's funny to say V1's infinitely strong, so you know. Alright, we don't need to beat around the bush here and talk about a bunch of other scalings of how strong he can be. Because this is just, we're trying to make him as strong as possible. So, V1 can tank a black hole and not die, so you know. Immeasurably durable. Yeah, wrap this one up, we don't need all this. Okay, so this one is actually quite a bit tricky. We did some browsing on Reddit. I know, stanky. And I found out that some people say he goes about 37 miles an hour with some fancy tech. But, of course, me, myself, and I have come up with another measurement that puts him a little bit faster than that, I would say. So, when V1 fires his shotguns, they're actually projectiles. It's not like a hit scan item. It's an actual thing. So, if we take this and put it on how a actual shotgun fires, which is about 1,500 feet a second, and if you use some tech, you can go about as fast as these pellets. And so that would mean V1 is going about 1,500 feet per second, which, if we convert that to miles per hour, is about 1,000 miles per hour, which is kind of insane, considering V1's like 300 pounds. So it's kind of unsafe to say that he goes 1,000 miles an hour because it doesn't make that much sense. But the shotgun pellets don't lie. So, you know. Honestly, this is his worst section. We don't have to really... he doesn't have much going for him here, but, you know, it is fun to speculate. Okay, so this is where V1 gets kind of a lot of abilities from. The number one that we all probably thought of right away is that he can heal from any non-instantly lethal injury by consuming blood. This also makes him so he has infinite stamina, because he can regain fuel as long as he's getting blood. But this next feat makes V1 even more infinitely strong than he already is, okay? I'm going to argue that V1 is immortal. If you remember from the Sisyphus Prime fight, when you die, you come back. And Sisyphus will kind of actually acknowledge that you died. He'll say, "Keep them coming." We can also tell that time has passed, because the only reason Sisyphus was able to break out of the Flesh Panopticon is because the Flesh Panopticon lost focus because we started to attack it. And this is really strange, don't you think? I mean, you're not getting sent back in time because time has passed, but you're regenerating. I don't really know what this means for like the lore of the game. I'm just saying he's immortal, which means he technically win every fight because he just doesn't. He never has to stop fighting. Alright, so we're just going to talk a little bit about how strong I think he really is. So, he is pretty infinitely strong. He has a lot of abilities that just kind of infinite, which are kind of weird. But also, by my logic, it does make it so that the filth is also infinitely strong, infinitely durable. So, take with that what you'd like. But I'd like to also say, this is kind of the disclaimer now. I'm going to yap for like a few minutes now, just talking about stuff on my channel. So if you don't give a shit, click off now. So yeah, my upload schedule is pretty ass. I upload when I want to. Don't watch my other videos, they're not very good. Like, this video, is like good by my standards, and well, it's not like a high quality content that we're getting, let's be honest. So, if you want to see more of this, you can subscribe, I guess, I don't really care. Yeah. So that's been your, at least top 10. I think I get top 10. Edgy 14-year-old. Signing off. Adios.